everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I'm going to be showing you guys how I did my mom's nails. This cute little simple set. I did hand draw the flowers. I mean, it wasn't really drawing much, but they are not stickers. I mean, I did them. So this is our previous set. I did a video on this. It's my previous video. These days I'm just doing my mom's nails basically. But I do know I need to do more videos, do my hands and things like that. I know that, guys. You know, it's a pandemic. Times are testy. So I'm going to start off by taking off the previous design. I'm using a coarse bit from Poochie's Nails. And you can, I mean, this is a smooth top safety bit. All my bits are safety bits. I don't want to risk cutting a client. Not that it necessarily has to be my fault, just because people laugh and move and things like that while they're in your seat. So you just want to protect yourself and your client, mostly your client. But, you know, you just don't want to have that happen. So you see now I took off the design and I'm using the skiver bit and I'm removing the dead skin from the surface of the nail plate, which is called the cuticle. And I'm really working on a slow speed with this bit, and I'm using it very parallel to the nail so I don't dig into the nail and cause any indentions or anything like that. So I am making sure I use this on, I'm using it to remove the cuticle from the nail plate, of course, but then also it adds texture to the nail so we don't have a smooth surface. That way our products can adhere more efficiently. Kind of like etches it, essentially. It takes the place of buffing or using a file or a sanding band or something like that. So make sure you touch all the exposed nails. She had a little bit of lifting on some of the sides of her nails. So I wanted to make sure it was exposed. I filed off the lifting. It was exposed. So I want to make sure I go over those parts with this bit to kind of add that roughness so we can make sure we get some adhesion there. I stated this previously. If you're new here, my mother had very long nails, or she kept her natural nails much longer for the last 5 years. And so we just cut them down after 5 years. And it really helps with the maintenance during everything that's going on with having to wash your hands constantly and everything like that. So that's why we cut them down. And that's why there's some lifting, because we are washing our hands so much, and just that much water is not good for the nails. So it's to be expected, really. Of course, not everybody will have it, but I'm just saying it's more likely with putting your hands in hot water and adding chemicals and stuff all the time. You can, you know, kind of expect more lifting issues, maybe little lifting, not major, but it can happen. And so I just missed the last step I did. I did cut the dead skin from around her cuticle area. I didn't nip or cut off her eponychium, which is the piece of skin that seals and protects the skin. I know to a lot of people it looks nice. I just like to keep it safe. My mother's skin is very dry. Again, the hand washing and is just really done a toll, especially she already has sensitive skin. I myself do as well, so I completely understand. My hands are on fire as I speak, but keep washing them hands. So I did clip that little bit of dead skin and then use the round bit to buff around the cuticle area just to smooth that skin as much as possible and kind of buff down any calluses. So I used the gel bottle ink rubber base as a base for adhesion. So I went ahead and applied that. That's that clear little layer that I applied, and went ahead and cured that in the light for the recommended time. Again, I use that for the adhesion, basically kind of like prep and prime in one step. I wipe the nails first with acetone and then let that dehydrate, and then go ahead and apply that rubber base to all the exposed natural nail. You don't need to go over the entire enhancement, but again, I had to file some lifting areas, so I wanted to ensure that they are covered with the rubber base coat so our product can have the best chance of adhering as possible. So when you're doing short nails, you want to ensure that you don't bulk them up too much around the edges. I explained in my last video that my mother and I, and just some people out there, have nails that kind of flare out at the side that can make them a little more, you know, difficult, because instead of having that nice kind of horseshoe shape, they do, I didn't think about the analogy before I said it, but they just flare out at the end. So I want to ensure that it's not too bulky, but then we're also playing with the game where we don't want the nails too thin either, because that can cause lifting and chipping and breakage. So you kind of got to find that a happy place. And then, you know, everybody's nail, to nail bed ratio is different, based on the length and the thickness and stuff. So different things really work for different folks. So, there's at times trial periods to see what will work for you. And, if you're working with a client, which you shouldn't be right now in the middle of this pandemic at all. But if you're working with a client, trying to figure out what is, good for them. So you can see I'm applying this cosmetic pink builder. I'm applying it very slowly. This is all sped up, but I don't want the air bubbles, so I'm just kind of dotting them out. It's not really such a big deal, but if you are going to be just leaving this color nude, you want to make sure you really get them air bubbles out. You don't want a lot because you don't want to mess with the integrity of the nail and start adding air into the surface of the nail, especially greatly. And it's just, especially when you're doing clear as well. If you want to do clear glass nails, gel is it's superior. It's the clearest thing out, unless they come up with a new invention. But gels, for the most part, are going to be the clearest enhancement that you can get. So, but with doing that, if you venture into that path, you want to make sure that you don't cause bubbles. About this brush, it is from like Hobby Lobby or Michael's. I say that all the time, but as far as I know, it's been discontinued, or maybe at Office Depot. I never share it really because it's hard to find, but I do have a link below for Alpha brushes, and they have some pretty good quality brushes for some very good prices. So you can see I'm adding a slip layer of the product, and that means a layer of wet product. And before I cure it, I take a bigger bead of product and I basically join it together. It kind of guides it and shows it where to go so it can kind of melt and level off with it. This consistency of gel doesn't self-level much at all. The more you move it, the more it kind of loosens up, but it doesn't self-level a lot. I say it all the time, builder gel is really easy to work with. So if you're at home, and you're trying to do your own nails, which maybe that's what a lot of y'all are doing now. Maybe some of y'all are not nail techs, and that's just fine. You're, of course, welcome here. I enjoy. But, I really would consider like poly gel or builder gel opposed to acrylic, especially if you're starting out, you're at home, and you're not really sure what to do. This video is not a beginner's video by no means, but just to send you on the right path. I think something like that, or like the Opre Gel X system, the kind of, advanced press-on type systems, those are real cool. It eliminates you building the enhancement, and you can go straight to design and color, essentially. So you see I shaped the nail. I just did it with a hand file real quick. I wanted to leave this still a rounded square at this length. We may begin to round them out a little more and go like almond next time I do her nails. So after I shape the free edge, I'm going in with a crosscut bit, and I'm using this bit to finish file the surface of the nail and then thin the nail out as well on the tip. I want to make sure the thickness is, again, not too thick, not too thin. I want her to be able to pick up stuff, but also I don't want to make it so thin that it messes with the integrity of the nail and the structure, because her nails are our nails. We have really similar nails and hands. Our nails are really, really thin, so having a very thin layer of product, it just especially doesn't work because our nails are so flimsy. So, but again, finding that happy place, and you can see it now, it's kind of unbalanced. That left side needs to be thinned out, and I kind of work on that off camera. So I am going to be taking these colors. It's number 54 from Gel Bottle Ink, and I believe that color is called Gilly or Gilly. I never learned how to pronounce it. It's Gilly. I believe it's a type of flower. So I'm using different Madam Glam and the Gel Bottle Ink colors. For Madam Glam, I do have a discount code, and it's my name, Tabytha. So if you shop with them, go ahead and use that code, guys. But I love their gel products. You can see I use them all the time, and they have tons of colors, and they keep updating it often. So again, if you're at home, you want to find a great gel brand that's no fuss, beautiful selection of products and really great quality, I'd recommend Madam Glam. And also this Gel Bottle Ink is great as well. This color is beautiful. Again, this is the number 54. And so I'm just applying that on the nails. I'm just polishing, and I go ahead and I do 2 coats, and I'm putting it in the light in between coats, of course. I guess if you're a beginner nail hobbyist, these are gel polish colors. They do need to be cured in a UV or LED light instead of air dried. So I guess in my own video, I'm telling myself, you need to do like a beginner's video, don't you, Tabytha? If you agree, go and comment below, do a thumbs up, do that for me, and then I'll know I need to go in and just start from the basics and dive deep from there. And you know, if you're at home, let me know how many of y'all are at home and watching this. If you're not a nail tech, you're just quarantined, or you might not even be quarantined, you might not feel comfortable going back into the shop and want to take this, you know, up as a hobby and a way to maintain yourself. So let me know down below. Just taking, you know, a little side poll. I know I could take a formal one, but just a little side poll. Let me know. So I'm just applying this as close as possible to the skin without touching it. Okay, so for our flower design, I am going to be using a dotting tool and some brushes from Wildflowers Nails. I'm going to be using their orange brush and I believe the blue, not the blue one. I'm not sure, and I don't think I caught it on the screen. But I'm going to be using a few of their brushes from Wildflowers Nails. It's their striper brushes, and they have like 4 different lengths, like a really short, a medium, a long. So I'm just going in between those and just filling the brush up on the tip and bringing it in strokes. Now, I failed on this so many times. I didn't show you them all, but I did not like that. And so I erased it and I erased it. And now I'm like, oh, that one's okay. So I went ahead and cured it. But on the other hand, it was not. So I wiped it again. I went with this one flower on each hand. I did several times. So, and just moving the hand, as you can see, sometimes it's pointed down, you know, traditionally how we work, and then sometimes I flip it up just to get the different angles. And then I got that one, and I feel like that one petal was off, and it's just a bunch of this. It took way more effort than it probably looks, honestly, but hopefully you can see how simple it potentially could be. Is you just, you know, take a little bit of paint on the brush and go ahead and pull it into the center dot. So I'm just going back and forth, just trying to make sure it looks, you know, proportionate. That's the thing with me with doing the petals of flowers, is I make them like ill proportioned often, and I'll have like 3 on one angle going one direction, the other 2 petals going one. It's just a mess. But so I'm doing my darndest, and I think it turned out pretty good. If I could probably change anything, my mom doesn't like it, but I think this would be real cute matte, or with like gold details, or like some flakes or something in the background. But that's just me in retrospect. So during this process, when I get the flower how I want it, at any moment I'll go ahead and flash cure, which is putting it in the light to set the gel in place. So at some moments I might not show it, I'll stop and I'll go ahead and flash cure it in the light. That way I know those petals are good, and I won't mess up the, 3 good ones I got trying to do 2 other ones and wiping them and redoing them. So you can see also the center of the flower, I get the paint on. I go back in and re-put the center dots of the flower back, so it'll give it a much cleaner look. You can also use stones. We did use an inspiration picture that I believe used stones, and I'll try to remember the inspiration picture if I can find it and see who did it. But I think they'll add a cute little flair to it as well. So I'm just going in, essentially doing the same thing, kind of similar looking flowers in a way, but just different amount of petals, different kind of thickness, where it goes from fat to thin, and spacing. And that's really it. After this, I go ahead and top coat. Okay, so I went in and added a little bit of wispies in between, just kind of filling that blank space. I tried to do a little leaf. Again, I was using an inspiration picture, and I could not do it. I couldn't get it to where I liked it. So I just gave up and added some more little wispies of that brighter, that elderflower color from the gel bottle ink. So then we decided to add an additional little flower on the pointer fingers, and I did this the exact same way. We just decided what colors we wanted to go for, and I did it the same way. You can see I'm just going through trying to get them proportion, even distance, and then they are looking bad. So I'm going in and fixing them. Like I said, I struggle. It looks very simple, and I reckon to probably a lot of people it is simple, but I just cannot with getting these spaced out right and at the right angle. I don't know what it is, but so I'm just slowly working on this. These took much longer than y'all probably care to know, or I should say, just to get these flowers going. So that's why stamps and foils and things like that are really cool. But I mean, even though I do enjoy drawing more so on, paper and canvas and things like that, I do enjoy drawing on nails, but also I do appreciate, for time's sake and efficiency, what stamps and foils and stuff can do. It's absolutely great to draw on nails because you can customize the design and art to your liking. So don't let me deter you guys. I will keep drawing on nails, and I encourage you to try to as well. But sometimes it is tough. So I went ahead and top coat with the Gel 2 top coat. I usually use this as my chrome top coat, but I liked how it wore last time, so I went ahead and just used it as my final top coat. And that's it. I know you guys, this was a really, simple set. It doesn't have bling everywhere or anything like that. It's just really simple with some cute little flowers and short. But I did try to add stones. I did. See, this is us talking about it, trying to figure out and pointing like where, and she's looking, and it was no stones. I was going to use those stones, those cute like bright electric orange, maybe some ABs or something like that on that middle finger, just a little design. But she played me out and she didn't want me to. So this is our final look. I really want to thank you guys for watching and being patient with me. I really appreciate you guys. Let me know what you're looking to see, and hopefully I can get that out to you guys. Let me know if you're new here, you're a new nail hobbyist, and just give me some information. Tell me what you guys been doing. Don't forget to thumbs up and subscribe and follow me on Instagram, and coupon codes down below. Bye.